Well, 2 years ago, in August, I was introduced to LifeWave from Shamima Patel, who is my sponsor. And I wasn't looking for LifeWave. I met with her as she was building my webpage for my ministry. And she was telling, in that conversation, she wanted to know a lot about me in order to get the flavor of my personality, if you will, for that ministry and website. So in that conversation, we were talking about autoimmune deficiencies, and she had a pretty serious time with her health as well. And I had received in 2019 a terminal diagnosis with the autoimmune deficiency that I had, and wasn't expect to live through it. And so at this point, I met her in 2023 in August and had overcome through treatment, um, some pretty rigorous treatment. I lived through it. But one of the things that had happened was I had my blood tests done every 3 or 4 months, which I still do to monitor my health and my blood work. And in that conversation, what I did know was that my platelets were only at 70, registered 70, and they need to be 140 to be normal. And with the autoimmune deficiency that I had, it destroys your bone marrow, and it typically never repairs. So I started on the X39 and at the Eon, and also the Eon patch, but I really want to play tribute to the X39 patch. So I started on it in August of 23. By January of 24, my platelets went up to 100 from 70, and they had never moved off of 70 without the patches. And I wasn't on any other drugs or medications. So fast forward from January of 24 to March, they went up to 117. And by May, they went up to 129. And by August of 24, they went to 140, the minimum of what they want you to be in the normal range. And if your platelets aren't healthy, if they're not in a normal range, you can catch any disease that walks by you. It's very dangerous. And so what attributed the increase of the platelets was that my bone marrow had repaired. And so my oncologist was really kind of perplexed, and he knew what I was doing with the patches, but he'd never seen the technology before. So he told me at that time, keep doing what I'm doing. And he said that he had only had two patients in his entire career of 30 years where their bone marrow had healed and that their platelets went up. And it took each one of those women, those two women, 10 years each. And mine went up in 1 year. And they're still climbing. They've never wavered, and they're still climbing. And I just had my blood work done a couple of weeks ago, and they went up. Now they're at 151. So they need to be between 40 and 160. So they continue to climb, and the bone marrow continues to heal. And so therefore my platelets are rebounding. And the only reason that that is happening is because of the X39 repairing my body and bringing it back to full competency where it can heal itself. So I am profoundly thankful. And again, I wasn't looking for the patches, but and my message to you is share it. You never know who needs it, and you never know what it can do for folks. Like in my case, literally saved my life. So because the longer term you have with bone marrow that's damaged, your health does not repair. So I am so very grateful and so very thankful for all of that. And it's just been a phenomenal ride.